Look at those Canadian geese. All right.
Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I'm answering a question that was posed to me, that was posed to my group, I should say. I'm part of a Slack channel with other marketers, other people who build websites for a living. And somebody had this question. They said, does Google treat paragraph text that's formatted like a heading, like a H1 or a H2 or a H3, does it treat it the same way as it does those regular headings? And the reason why this came up is there's a famous person within SEO and marketing that wrote an article that said no. Basically, Google will treat paragraph text exactly the same as this regular heading text if it's formatted to look like a heading. If it has, much larger font, bold, it looks like a heading. It's bigger than the regular, paragraphs. And somebody said, shouldn't accessibility count? Shouldn't there be some semantic meaning to this? Because a lot of people teach that if you have the proper semantics and you have proper accessibility and things are formatted correctly, H1 tag, then some regular text, H2, some text, H3, regular text, so on and so on. If it follows like a natural hierarchy like that, then it should be better for SEO. Well, I think that if you, for one, look at the video that we did very recently on whether accessibility affects SEO. Google doesn't necessarily use accessibility testing directly to affect SEO, but they look at other user signals and they figure that if things are not user-friendly enough, then those signals will correlate with what they're actually tracking, and that the ranking will drop after a while with machine learning. But no, they don't actually use this sort of thing directly. Now, why would Google do this? If they want to have semantic meaning, and I understand that a lot of people put a lot of effort into writing HTML perfectly and making sure that there's one H1 tag, one headline, main headline on the page, and then there's H2s and then paragraph text, and H3s are below the H2s and H4s are below the H3s, and I totally get that. But there's a lot of people out there that are using build-it-yourself tools. There's web building tools, there's page building tools, there's all kinds of platforms like Squarespace and Wix and Weebly and all these sorts of things that people are using to DIY, do it themselves, and build their own websites. And they don't necessarily know that they're supposed to have one H1, and, that they're supposed to use H2s and H3s and these sorts of things. They might just use paragraph text and format it larger, because a lot of people look at building a website as formatting a Word document. It's basically the same thing to them. So I think that's a big reason why Google doesn't directly say, we're going to make SEO tougher for people that don't know the difference between writing HTML with one H1 and then some H2s and H3s and H4s, and the people who are just using a paragraph tag and then just making the font size bigger or whatever. I think they're basically looking at how people actually use the web, and in enough cases to make it viable to say, like, we really shouldn't treat the two things as separate things, because we understand that this is what people are trying to do. Now, the argument was made, somebody brought this up and I can't remember the exact phrasing of what they said, but they said basically, but what about screen readers? What about this assistive technology for blind people? It doesn't see that the font size is larger or the font size is smaller or the body text or this or that are different sizes. But I think Google is really, I hate to say it, they're looking at how the majority of people use a website first. And as much as I would like it to be that the technology that blind people or vision impaired people or deaf people or colorblind people use, I think Google is just simply banking on the fact that they will get signals from screen readers and other types of special browsers like this, as well as regular browsers. And hopefully, at some point, that usability will make those pages that are not user-friendly go down. But if it's just a heading or a paragraph that looks like a heading, there's no reason to say it's different. Now, all that said, the way that I'm going to build a website is going to continue to be the same because I believe in being safe and not sorry. I am going to continue to make sure that the HTML structure of any given web page is semantically correct, meaning there's one main headline, that's a H1 tag, the big headline at the top of the page. There's proper H2s, there's proper paragraphs, H3s, H4s, and if I need them, H5s and H6s, things like that. I'm gonna definitely, construct the HTML of a given page correctly. Now, as an aside, I have heard other agency owners, other SEOs out there say the same thing that this article said. And that is that the limited testing that they've done, they've seen the same exact thing. That Google treats things that look like a heading like a heading. So, I don't know what to say. I know there's at least one other person that said, I'm not going to listen to anything that particular author says, the person from the original article, but I'm just saying what I've heard other people said. I haven't done testing with dozens or hundreds or thousands of websites, so I really can't confirm that either way. I'm just repeating what other people have told me from their testing, so I'm taking them at their word, and I'm just offering an explanation of why Google might use that policy if indeed that is what they're using. But again, I'm going to be safe, not sorry. Anyway, my name is John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO, and I'm here on a daily basis giving tips, advice, different outlooks on SEO, specifically for blue-collar, industrial, manufacturing, home services types of clients. If you'd like to subscribe, hey, we're putting out videos every day. Be here tomorrow. Until next time, peace.